No audio for whatever reason. There we go. Just gonna check everything's working fine for stream. And we should be live. Hello everyone and welcome to Austria for the 5th installment of the Freshman League. I am joined once again by the man, the myth, the legend, and the most recent Weekend League champion, X-Natty G.
Hello guys, yeah, as Toussaint said, I am X-Natty G, joining him in the box for today's race, and I am really looking forward to it. The Red Bull Ring Austria should provide some great overtaking.
Yeah, lots of overtaking opportunities, obviously up the hill in towards turn 3 and even through the second DRS zone into turn 4, and of course not forgetting the main straight itself. But currently on board with your championship leader, Kev, currently out on the medium tyres, coming around to start a lap now. Let's go and have a look at the rest of the grid. I don't believe you have any penalties, but crucial news from last race. RC8 has been promoted up a position into 3rd, I believe it was, which should knock Absolute off of the podium then for, I think, the first time this season, Natty.
Yeah, I think that was when a penalty, or the game knocked him down a few positions because of penalties, but he didn't get any penalties in the race, so I think that's why that's been given.
Yeah, but Natty, you have both fond and difficult memories of this track, I'm sure, with a win in this series, actually last season, but a DNF in the Premier Series. So do you want to just talk to us a little bit about the track and what makes it so good or so bad, apart from the fact that you run 3-4 wings, and that's what kind of makes it bad?
Yeah, so Red Bull Ring, one of my favourite tracks. Nice, simple, quick, fast-paced track. Only 10 corners. And it's about, so there's, obviously it's a short track, so there's not much time to find, but it's where these drivers can find the time. You've got to be so precise in every corner. You can gain or lose so much time, especially through turn 1 alone. Kev puts on the official pole with a 4.5 on the mediums.
Sorry, Keep's getting a little oversteer there on the exit.
It will definitely test overtaking in the race.
Alright, yeah, and a quick word actually on Mr. Tiger Assassin, who's making his Formula 1 Gavra Racing debut today in the Haas, replacing Willy Sanka for the remainder of the season, and big shoes to fill here for Tiger. It's his first time ever doing a race with his name attached to the car, and let's see what he can do. Coming round now to start his qualifying lap. Let's ride on board with Tiger Assassin and in his first lap in the Freshman League, coming up towards turn 1 now. I want to extend the track on the outside. Brake 100 meter board, down into 4th gear, very conservatively there from Tiger, gets from the exit curve on the exit of the corner, now blasting down through turns 2 and 3. Don't really think about turn 2 in a Formula 1 car, but it's more for MotoGP. Braking once again, 100 meter board down into 1st gear, got someone going very slowly at turn 3, and Tiger going very wide, missing the apex, maybe looking for some extra traction, and he's going to head down the 2nd of 3 DRS straights, then down towards turn 4, underneath the Rolex board, braking once again down into 3rd gear. Little lock up on the right hand side, on the right front for Tiger Assassin. Now through turns 4 and 5, again, don't really think about this as an F1 car. Now down into turn 6, look at the commitment from the front end. Tiger again running a bit wide. What time's on for the middle sector? 46.2, so still time to be found for the British driver. Now through turn 8, coming towards turns 9 and 10, the final 2 corners, a couple of high speed right handers down into 7th gear, down into 6th gear for Tiger, hooks up the apex nicely. Now through the final corner, down into 4th, very conservatively taken from Tiger Assassin. That's going to run it to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 106.1. Puts himself up into 9th place, ahead of regulars Dazza and Victor.
Yeah, it looked to be not a conservative lap. I don't think he pushed too hard on his opening lap. I think the last time we saw him in a quali session was Abu Dhabi in the Super League last season, where he replaced someone in the Mercedes, I think it was. I can't quite remember.
It might have been Gavra, I think.
I can't remember, but he's currently in P9, and I'm sure he's got time to find on his versus lap.
But RC8 then's gone to provisional pole with a 1 minute 4.3 on the mediums. That's a very good lap time from RC8. Could have Ellison now blasting towards what's going to be for Ellison. Had done the fastest middle section of anybody. Goes into 5th place. Doesn't improve. Oh no, does improve the lap time to a 1:04.8. We'll need to find a little bit more time than that to challenge Jitsi Kev and Absolute, who are both on laps. Let's go down here. Sorry about the jerkiness of the screen. Going to go down to Absolute's coming through the middle section. He's invalidated his lap though, Natty. So that's not going to count then for Absolute. Probably has enough fuel in the car to just save everything up and go for it again. Ellison's on an in lap, I'd assume that to be. As Centurion now is going to come to the line. What kind of lap can the Racing Point that hasn't validated at the final corner? Tiger Assassin now completes another lap. It's a 16.6, so I think probably in a cool down lap then. And Tiger's going to go for it again here, coming through turn 1. Much better from Tiger Assassin now through turn 1, really using the limits of the track then, going down towards turn 3 now. Once again, Tiger, you're getting 2 commentated laps here, buddy, so you better be grateful. And 1/10 up already in the first sector, sorry. Oh, and he spun, he's hit the wall! And Tiger Assassin, just too eager on the throttle, spins out at turn 3, as it's so easy to do round here, and is spun into the wall then and loses his front right wing end plate. And Nat, you were joking about this before, but we really have caught all of his spins on camera.
Yes, many people make that mistake of getting on the power too early, a little bit too early through turn 3. It really commonplace to lose the rear around this track, and it looked to be a clean lap through turn 1 and hit the apex through turn 3, but just got on the power a little bit too early, really getting to repair that front wing.
Yeah, just riding on board with Jitsi Kev now, surely one of our pole position contenders, then your current points leader by 5 points back to his teammate in second, who is Absolute, coming through turn 6 now, down towards turn 7. What kind of time can Jitsi Kev do? 6/10 up, Natty. That is the fastest middle set we've ever seen of anyone so far. Through turns 8 now, down towards turns 9 and 10. Can he get this hooked up? Down to 7th gear, after the 50-meter board, or just misses the apex curve there. Now down into 5th gear, through the final corner, runs a little bit wide. They bring it to the line there. What's going to be for Jitsi Kev? A 1 minute 3, surely. It's a 1 minute 3.6, and Jitsi goes to provisional pole then, and a long way ahead of our state in second. 7/10, Natty. That is a statement of intent.
Yeah, really quick lap from Jitsi Kev. He's just over 6/10 quicker than us on the soft tyres, and really quick lap. Got into the first driver into the 103 so far. I wonder if anyone else will follow on later in the session as the track gets more rubber on it.
Yeah, so Infamilla having a very good qualifying so far, currently up in P4, only 8/10 off Jitsi Kev, and on those a fresh set of soft tyres. So let's see if the Ferrari driver can improve on their lap time. Now let's see what else is coming towards the line. It's going to be Victor to start a lap even, going to bring it to the wide into turn 1. Let's see if anyone else is finishing a lap. Sabin and Mister currently in the pit lane. Don't think we have anyone on the lap at the moment. Let's try and see what Absolute's doing. Coming through the final sector now, as I'm going to go up to Infamilla. I believe he's just started a lap then, so coming in towards turn 1. Oh, down into 3rd gear then. A lot of drivers preferring 3rd gear, it seems, through the first corner, Natty.
Yeah, 3rd gear, probably opting for a little bit more rotation or a bit more traction. Interesting. That was a bit of a lock-up though from Infamilla through turn 3, but I know some drivers have a particular preference in gears, like some drivers like to take turn 3 in 2nd gear for a bit more traction on the exit. I guess it's still down to personal preference though.
Yeah, I think definitely. Oh, it's Infamilla again running a bit well. I'm going to get rid of the UI there for you. I'll bring it back towards the end of the lap now. We're going to have a little audio up moment. I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy the noise of the Ferrari around the Red Bull Ring. And Infamilla then doesn't manage to improve, but Jitsi Kev's gone even faster. I think no, has not gone faster. That's just the game keeping the fastest lap time up there. But I hope you enjoyed that little audio moment, getting to hear the SF1000 roar around the Red Bull Ring. If only it was that fast in real life. Yeah. Oh, Infamilla actually's gone for a second lap. Oh, these overcooks at turn 3. Got movement on the grid. I think Absolute though, Natty. Absolute still hasn't managed to put in the time here. He's had all of his laps invalidated so far, and with 8 minutes to go, really needs to get this one done. Needs to get a lap in and get up the grid, because 19th isn't going to cut it with his teammates starting on pole.
With about 8 minutes left in the session, he can probably afford to get 2 more laps in, but he'd have to leave the garage out now to get a comfortable lap in before he comes out in the final few minutes of the qualifiers.
As this is interesting, Natty. RCA a 10th up on Jitsikev in the first sector, sporting a very nice helmet there in the Alfa Romeo. It really suits the car. If again will give me a good camera angle so we can see it a bit better. There we go. I love that helmet. Nice design, RCA. He's going to come through turns 5 and 6 now into 5th gear. Manages to get to the apex of a lot better than the Red Bulls, so maybe running some more. He's 4/10ths up through the middle sector, fastest of anybody so far. And here comes RCA. Does he have a response to Jitsikev, who's taken pole here at the moment, coming through the final couple of corners now down into 6th gear, gets a little bit of oversteer because of the correction on the steering wheel there through the final corner now. RCA's going to run into line. What's it going to be for the Alfa Romeo? It's a 103.8, so just missing out on provisional pole then, 2/10ths off of Jitsikev, but that's not it. We've still got 6.5 minutes to go here. I'm sure the Absolute now will be trying to respond to his teammate, who's actually sporting Natty. He'll be very happy about this. A very Sebastian Vettel-esque helmet.
I saw that earlier in the session. I was going to bring it up later, but a good lap from us. Yeah, only a 10.5 behind Jitsikev. There's still 6.5 minutes left to go in the session, so they might get an extra lap in towards the end of the session, where obviously the track will be slightly faster than it is now. But I believe Absolute 11 is about to start a flying lap.
Yeah, that's right on board then with RCA. Let's take a look at the lap here, as this may be a provisional pole lap time then from RCA. Let's get it started and underway in towards turn 1. Doesn't use as much of the track limits as you can. Cuts the first corner but does not get a invalidation though. Keeps it clean through corner 1. We've got yellows and sectors here. Let's hope his teammate doesn't hold him up on this lap. That's right on board then. And Absolute the German coming now up in towards turn 3. 15.9 in the first sector. Not the fastest that we've seen today, but still not bad. Still Absolutely with time to find, getting a little bit of a toe off his teammate there. I'm sure Jitsi, will be looking to get rid of that as quickly as he can. Gets out of the way for his teammate though. Nicely done by Jitsi. Absolutely uses more of the inside curve there than many of the other drivers. Again, moving very aggressively to the right hand side. Well, this part of the lap down into 5th gear. Maybe it hooks up the corner. Doesn't get as close to that curve as we've seen others get. But the 44.5 through the middle sector, fastest of anyone. If you've just seen pop up on your screen there, down towards turns 9 and 10. That's up through turn 8. Now through turn 9 after the 50-meter wall, down in 7th gear, gets the entrance curve. It's been a beautiful lap from RC8, beautifully clinical and beautifully clean. When it comes to the line now, what's going to be for Absolute? Can he go to original pole? No! He goes 3rd behind RC8 on a 103.9. So Absolute not able to convert it. Maybe those earlier laps have potentially played with his confidence in the car, and yeah, it hasn't been good enough for pole position.
Yeah, looking at the sector times, a little bit of his time was lost, mainly in the final sector, so maybe he didn't push too much on that lap, as he thinks he could probably get an extra lap in. Well, that slipstream down the second straight after turn 3 would definitely help him in the middle sector close the gap. Competitive lap nevertheless.
Yeah, and I'm watching Victor now. He's on the fastest middle sector of anybody, but he's got a little bit of a mistake through the final sector now. Let's see what it's going to be nevertheless for Victor. It's a 104.3, goes into 4th place, and ahead of his Alpha Tauri teammate. It's going to be Sabo now coming to the line, and he goes into 11th position. Got a racing point now. It's going to be Edison coming to the line to 107.4, so hasn't managed to improve on that lap time then. As let's see if Tiger Assassin's out on track. Not at the moment on the 1 minute 5.1. We'll want to improve on that, I am sure, but I think I'm going to have a little bit of a lull here whilst we wait for the drivers to go out for their final runs. That Bagabra currently on the lap, but I believe he's backed out of that. GSY Bates now also on the lap. Let's see what kind of time he can do. Oh, that's invalidated though, and that's going to be tight for him to get back to the pits in time and get back out and do another lap. And RCH are tied from the session. So RC8 then, already out of the contest for pole, will not be taking any further part in this quali session, has felt the need to retire then and head back to the garage.
Yeah, RC8 up in 2nd place, choosing to retire the car, so he's not going to improve. Sabo the Mister has invalidated his lap on the exit of turn 7, so he might go for one more, quickly dive into the pits, and chooses the pit lane option. I don't think there's many people on a lap. I think Fincher slightly up on his time through the middle sector. I'm not too sure. He's just under a 10th down. through turns 7 and 8 in the run down to turn 9. Breaking through just after the 50-meter board. Running a little bit wide, and that's invalidated his lap through turn 9.
Let's see what lap time would have been though for the Renault. It would have been a 104.8, so would have been an improvement on his lap time. Infamella as well retiring from this session then, so a lot of drivers feeling they can't go any faster than their current times. Gavra now coming into the pit, so again another driver for which is going to be close to get another lap in. Alex Mack currently on a lap. As his car, we've got yellows now, he's got a Ferrari off. Oh, that's Infamella. His car is sat in a very awkward place there. Going to have Alex Mack now coming through turn 7. He's on 44.9, so again, not the fastest we've seen, but not bad. So a solid middle sector then from Alex Mack. And here we go now through the final couple of corners, through turns 9, and more importantly, through turn 10. What kind of drive can Alex going to get to the line? It's been a good lap so far. What time's going to be for Alex Mack? It's a 104.5, goes into 7th position then. So decent qualifying pace there from Alex Mack.
I'm on board now with Tiger Assassin. He's matched his sector one time, hooked up turn 1 nicely, ran wide through turn 3 as he opens up the DRS now, climbing his way through the gears the second straight into turn 4. Breaking just before the 100-meter board, locking up a little bit on the front right.
And he's backed off.
This lap.
He is.
Probably go for another one.
Let's have a look at Brizzy then. He's gone past Cyprus. That's now down in towards turn 6 and 7. So Brizzy coming through that corner now. Less than a tenth up on his time, but still another sector to go then for the McLaren driver. Can Brizzy improve on this lap time, push himself up and towards the top 10 through the final couple of corners? Now down to 6th gear. Doesn't run too wide on the final corner either. Now coming through the final corner. Sorry, going to come to the line. What's going to be for Brizzy? It's a 1:05.0 and doesn't manage to improve on this time in the end. We're going to have Tanturi comes to line to start lap, I believe that is. But Sabo and Miss also starting laps. These are the final laps then, the final chance in qualifying for these drivers to get themselves further up the grid. Only 4 drivers then in the top, in the 1:03, with Tonio, Stritsikev, RC8, and absolutely only cars in the only top 4 cars in the 1:03s. And
Tonio's
sorry, you go.
I was going to say, Tonio's moved his way up into 3rd place on that lap. It's a pretty clean lap, only a 10th behind Jutsikev.
Yeah, and we'll have Jutsikev then is going to be starting a lap. Let's go back to Tanturi, those on the lap as well, trying to improve up from 17th position and push himself further up the grid. We'll keep you updated. Through those lap times. It's Tanturi that's the fastest for the sector, if anybody then. So this could be a very good lap then from Tanturi, perhaps the best you've seen from a racing point so far this season. Has turn 9 hooked up beautifully. Doesn't run too wide there, so probably could have carried a bit more speed. Again, the same with turn 10. They're going to come to the line. It's a 1:04.7. Goes into 10th position just behind his teammate. And who else is going to come to the line? And they're going to have a Alfa Romeo of Ace DeSavo trying to match his teammate. Currently sat up in 2nd place. Here comes Ace DeSavo. It's only 14th then for him. Gonna have Daza now on an out lap, in fact. So let's go and look at the 2 Red Bulls then. So Jutsikev nearly 2 tenths up in the middle sector. I think Absolute's going to get to the line first. Here comes Absolute then to the line. What's it going to be for the German? It's a 1:03.7. Goes into 2nd place. So it's not pole today for Absolute, but it is going to be pole for Jutsikev. A 1:03.3 right to the end there. 4 tenths ahead of his teammate. Nice as you like.
A really good lap from Jutsikev, 4 tenths quicker than the car behind him, his teammate, setting a 1:03.3, a really good lap from him. The pole time last year, I know the cars are quite a bit quicker this year, but Pepperlec last season set a 1:04.7. That was the pole time from last season, so already 1.4 seconds quicker than last season.
Just go to show how much more grip Codemasters have given us to work with. And it's going to be Jutsikev with a 1:03.3. He's going to take pole position then, ahead of Absolute in 2nd, RC8 in 3rd. Your top 3 in the championship, also your top 3 on the grid. And quick word out to Tiger Assassin, has started off his career strongly, although down in 16th place, still managing to out-qualify his much more experienced teammate. So well done to Tiger, and let's see what he can do later on in the race.
I've been being further down the grid, and obviously, there's more ways to go up than down. So he'll be looking to make his way through the field along with the other guy starting further down the grid. But it might mean that he has a chance to avoid any turn 1 or lap 1 incidents.
Yeah, hopefully. But we've got cars currently sat on the track because the people in the pits need to retire from the session. Well, anyway, worst case scenario, will be sat here for another 50 seconds, so that gives us a chance to talk a little bit about strategy.
Yeah, I think the ideal strategy, if it's an all dry race, is probably just going to be the one stop either from soft to medium or soft to hard, depending on how hard the drivers push the tyres. Maybe we might see some guys outside the top 10 start on the mediums or the hard compounded tyre and go further on into the race and try and be on that strategical different advantage. But I think a one stop from soft to medium is really the most likely strategy we'll see if the weather doesn't change.
Yeah, I think you haven't seen anyone try to start on the medium tyres, then maybe indicative of the conditions. Perhaps it might rain really early on in the race. If any drivers are in the chat, if you've checked the weather, could you let us know? Actually, that would be interesting to see. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. Obviously, this gives us a chance even to look at the chat and engage you guys a bit. So hello to Jay, hello to Absolute. Should be focusing on the race, but never mind. Hello to Jitsi as well, Piero, Charles Leclerc, good to see you back again. Cryptech, obviously a Tiger Assassin fan. A great lap then by Jitsi though to take pole position then. He's going to be followed by his teammate Absolute in second for must be the gazillionth time this year. RC8's going to be in third, Senyos for Vixty second, AlphaTauri in fifth, Infamella in sixth, Alex from the Max seventh, GSY Bates eighth, Edison in ninth, and Centuri's going to round out your top 10. Vinceven, the first car of free choice of tyres in 11th on the 1 minute 4.7, Tripolo 12th, Brushy 13th, Ace Sabo 14th, Sabo the Mister 15th, Tiger Assassin in his first qualifying will be 16th, Daz is 17th, Robert Codbarber 18th, and our baggy ref, the only driver to not set a time, will be starting from the back of the grid in 19th position. So then, that's qualifying over. Let's get to where they hand out the points. It's time for the Austrian Grand Prix, and if I had a little intro here, I would play it, but I don't because the game is mean and we will get copyrighted. Alright, so we're going to have a dry start then at least, so no rain as of yet. Cryptech saying that he isn't he is a Tiger Assassin fan. Yes, you are a Tiger Assassin fanboy. Connor saying, yeah, there was rain yesterday in the Academy series. If you haven't seen that, I would strongly suggest that you go and watch it. It was a very interesting race with the top four battling all the way throughout, and I won't ruin it for you to go and watch it, but you will be surprised who wins at the end. Me and Tiger certainly were. But also, don't forget to check out the Gavra Racing podcast. Another episode will be coming out later on this week once it is recorded. We're going to be talking about what's happened in F1 over the past couple of weeks, as well as obviously Gavra Racing, what's going on there, as well as some more news about the t-shirts I believe that Tiger mentioned in the last one. So anyway, probably going to have a soft to medium strategy, I think, as you said, Nancy, unless there is some rain. We are up high in the mountains here at Spielberg in the state of Styria in Austria. Got 10 corners around here, 3 DRS zones, and yeah, let's see what the drivers can do. Still got a lot of loading wheels at the moment, so hopefully this isn't going to be a destroyed lobby. Hopefully. Game. Please.
Let's think of it as they're taking the time to think of their strategy.
Yes.
And it's not the game roping, and they're just in deep thought.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Yeah, Pierre might have a lobby bug, so I guess we can just talk a little bit more about Natty. Your win in Brazil sealed the weekend league on Sunday, I believe. Oh, Saturday, yeah, Sunday. Sorry. Yeah, how are you feeling about it?
Well, yeah, I was pushing so hard in that race. Obviously, with the championship on the line. It was great to win the final race of the season. After qualifying the second, I just thought I've got to go for it. Yeah, it's great to win the weekend league again. Obviously, I think it was a really great season, and I'm thinking of next season potentially. I'm not too sure.
Got to defend your crown.
We'll see. Maybe.
I mean, we could do a little Q&A if you want, Tiger Cryptech. Yeah, if you want to have any questions for us in the chat, then Yeah, we'll do our best to answer them. Sure, Piero say, yeah, that's why Tiger should, that's why he's a commentator, basically, Piero. As, yeah, looks like we do a bit of a lobby glitch, so we'll keep you posted as to what's happening. But for the moment, if you have any questions you want to ask, yeah, just let us know. And we are having people leave the session. Predictions for the top 3 today. That's interesting, Natty. What do you? I think, for the sake of the championship, I'm gonna go for an absolute win, just because. No offense, no offense, Jitsi, just because you are leading. So, I would say absolute first, Jitsi in second, and I think for third, it's gonna be interesting because Tonios was very much on pace and is probably in the championship hunt now. I think with that win last time out in Spain, we are going to have a migrating host. Then yeah, I think it might be time to leave. But we're going to have a problem with music if I leave the lobby.
We appear to be starting.
Oh no! Everyone's leaving. Yeah, hang on. I'm going to hop into time trial very quickly. Ignore me, everyone. Sorry. If you have any questions, I'll just put them in and we'll answer them in a minute. Sorry about this, everybody.
A time trial lap. Everyone.
Can do. I've got my wheel loaded up, so yeah, we can. In the meantime, whilst we're waiting, do a quick time trial lap. Please hurry up, game, so we don't get copyright strikes. Quickly, come on. Right, okay, quickly. Time trial. F1 2020 Mercedes. Austria. There we go. Yeah, but to answer your question, Cryptic, I'm gonna go for absolute Jitsi Kev, and I'll put Tonios in third. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it in the Ferrari F2004. Oh, right, okay, apparently they want the Ferrari F2004, so I'll change that.
Give the people what they want.
I'll give the people what they want. Alright, car and track selection then, so need classic cars, 2004 Ferrari. Dry midday. I've never driven this car around this track, so it should be fun.
I think my top 3 for the race, while we're on the topic, I think I'm gonna go for RC8 to win, Jutsi Kev in second, and then Tonios in third.
Ooh, interesting. Yes, Pierre, I am training for the wet because you do have a race on Thursday, you know.
And by training in the 2004 Ferrari.
Oh yes, in the dry, because that's what the people want, Natty, and we're all about giving the people what they want at Gavra Racing. Alright, so I'm going to nick a setup from someone, I think. Or wait, setup or setup list, people? Let's see what they want. Just going to give it a minute here.
The most ridiculous wings ever. 3.9.
I have to run like 1-1 wings, or just 11-11. Take any. Cryptech says, alright, I'll take this setup then. Doesn't really matter what lap time I do, although I'm sure whatever lap time I do play Dutch will be like, oh, you're so slow! Alright, let's go cockpit cam then and experience the V10-ness of this car. So then, it's time to start a lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. Here at the Red Bull wing, or the A1 wing as it was called when this car was driving. Going to come in towards turn 1 now. Going to use a little bit of a track gear on the outside, braking at the 100-meter board down into third gear and trying not to spin live on camera. So we'll be taking this very cautiously indeed. Going to come now down through the runs between turns 2 and 3, or 1 and 3 even. Through turn 2, then a little lift up into the heavy braking zone of turn 3. Going to, a little bit of oversteer there on the exit. Short shift up the gears. Into 4th, into 5th, into 6th. Listen to that engine purr. Gonna come down towards turn 4. Braking once again at the 100 board. Down into 2nd gear this car. Oh, short shift through the gears. Up through 3rd, up through 4th. Lost the rear a little bit there. Now down in towards turn 6. Very tricky corner. Try and hook up the apex. Gone a little bit wide there actually. That's now through turn 7, in towards turn 8. Gonna ride the curve a little bit here, up through the gates once again, up in towards gear 7. Now down to the final couple of corners, gonna take it in 5th. Picked up the first one quite nicely, down towards the second one. Haven't managed to validate the lap so far. Played it very conservative, probably gonna be a very slow lap time. What's it gonna be? It's a 1:07.6, so nearly as quick as Tiger Assassin in a car that is about 16 years older. Oh, 827th in the world, not bad. Let's go with some donuts.
cheeky donuts.
Ow.
There's a lobby to be made.
Yeah, I think I have just got an invite from Gav, so... Right, I'm gonna have to be quick here again, aren't I? Right, end session. Right, so stream will be paused for a minute while I go and accept the invite from Gav. There we go. Oh, can I still be heard in the stream?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure because it, yeah, it just came up with an alert on my screen. If I can't be heard, but, good but not impressed. Thank you, Fiora. Right, so... I don't believe we're going to be redoing qualifying, but I think we're just waiting on a couple more people before we get going. But yeah, quick lobby glitch. We are back. Hopefully. Yep, just going straight to a race. I believe it was all... Oh, no, I'm going to have the weather still on dynamic then. So, still a chance for rain, Natty. This could be interesting.
Oh, the scenes if it's raining.
Please. I'm going to try and see if I can mute this game, because obviously this is a bit problematic potentially, but yeah. Okay, both microphone, audio and game. Okay, yeah, that's better. Just waiting on everyone to pick a car, because I know if I mute the game now it's just going to mess everything up. Oh, Connor going for absolute Jitsi RC8 then, so gone for quite a boring race I see, Connor, for top 3 in the championship, being the top 3 on the podium. But yeah, just waiting on people to pick their cars. Should be able to get going soon. I believe we'll wait. Oh, we've got 21 people now. Oh, because I need to press spectate. There we go. And you do as well, Natty, I think. I know you're not here.
I think you could...
Yes. There you go. Alright, so I believe we have, yeah, both Mercedes, still missing a Ferrari, got both Red Bulls. Oh, we've got both McLarens now, Hampton's here. Okay.
There's an issue, but the session's full, so this will be fun.
I think
Does that mean I can leave?
I think
Bye,
Gav will
guys.
Just gonna leave me on my own. I think Gav will have to leave so that Natty can join and we can get started. Oh, hello Dan Schneider as well, good to see you back in the chat. Got 31 of you now, that's pretty good for us over at Gavra Racing. That might be a bit small for some of you other Twitch streamers, but it's pretty good for us. There's a Crypt that's chosen to highlight his message for 100 portals, I think that is, and he's highlights the Guan Tiger, so definitely a Tiger Assassin fanboy. As yeah, and if you do want to, you can subscribe to the Gavra Racing Twitch. It's only $5.99, I believe, a month to subscribe to us, and you will get the videos, or the streams even, straight after the race is finished. So if you are a driver and you are interested in watching your race straight away, pop a quick sub for us, and even if you would just like to rewatch your favourite races on Twitch after they've just finished, you can do that as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Gavra Racing YouTube channel, where these races are uploaded 2 days after the fact with yeah, full commentary and otherwise, so you'll still be able to hear mine and Natty's lovely voices over on YouTube on Thursday, when this will be uploaded. And actually Thursday, same day as the Super League, also around Austria. Everything's in Austria this week. It's just a Austria Fest. We had the Academy Freshman obviously today at Austria. Tomorrow with the Premier Series, which Natty is in second place on, hot on the heels of Pope in the championship there, which is also around Austria. And then in the Super League as well at Austria again, yeah, you guessed it. Yeah, all at 8:30, apart from Super League that starts at 8, or should do. We always start at 8:15 anyway, but yeah. That's going to be the roundup for this week. Just waiting on people to pick their cars, and then Gavra will need to leave the session so that Natty can join. And yeah, should be good to get going from that point. I'll send you another quick invite there, Nat.
Yeah, just waiting for the other session to become unfull, and then I'll be in.
Oh, and yes, Critic has just reminded me on Friday at 6 p.m. British summertime. Nat, you should really remember this, not me. We're going to have a GT Sport Championship kicking off at Mount Panorama, Tiger Assassin's favourite track. Going to have a close battle, I'm sure, in between the top 3 or 4 cars in the championship, which is myself, Tiger Assassin, Dutchy, and Epic in that championship, leading the way there. Dutchy's complaining that he's running out of beers. We're going to try and get up and running as quickly as we can for you, Dutchy, before you run out of beverage. Dan Schneider laughing at that, and Cryptic also finding it quite funny. It was quite funny, to be fair. I'm going to pop Gav a quick message in case he can't hear me. I think, okay, wait, if anyone could hear me, we're readying up, but I don't have Natty in the commentary box because the session is full. Okay.
In that case, bye everyone. I'll see you tomorrow in the Pro Series, and you'll hear again from me on Friday.
I'm gonna try. Is that invite I sent you still valid?
Yeah, I've just it still says that the session's full.
Okay. Yes, Gav's leaving right now, so you should be good in a couple minutes now.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, already have done. So, can you still use that invite? Should be alright.
It says the session is full.
Yeah, it's still the session's full. Okay. I'll send you another one then. Sorry about this, everybody. We're trying to get it as quickly as we can. Yeah, Gav was just doing the custom grid, so that's why it took us a little bit longer to get going. But we are now back in Austria, and hopefully that's not the same glitch as before. Dutch, you might have time to go to the shop and buy some more beers. Nash, you able to get in?
The session's still saying it's full.
Try that invite.
Yeah, I cannot join the session's full.
Okay, this could be problematic. Try now. It should be alright. Is it because you have a full grid?
I'm not sure.
You're still saying session full? Oh, there we go.
The session no longer exists.
No, because the host is migrating. Because I think that's Gav leaving, or should be. No, I'm just getting migrating hosts now. This could be an issue. Oh, I can't even invite you anymore. Okay, there we go. Gav has left. I should be able to invite. Wait, Natty, can you maybe try joining now? Oh, there we go. I can invite you again.
try this. I think it's going to work.
Yeah, there we go. So that's it. Right, so in the spectator cam then, so we are able to get going then. Not sure if you saw earlier, but it did say one stop, soft to medium stopping on lap 15, and they're going to, yeah, and I think we're in for an epic fight here between the two Red Bull cars. The battle for supremacy around this track and indeed in the championship. We're going to come to an end of the formation lap then. The nerves are high, the tension is high. Yeah, let's get this one underway after a bit longer than usual waiting, but yeah, this league always seems to have some kind of drama, especially when it comes to the starts, Nancy, I'm sure, as you're aware from last season. Then we've got our full grid then of absolutely everyone here. Lovely to see that all of the drivers still turning up here for the freshman league, and hope we should be able to get to 5 red lights soon. Let's get ready for that run up and towards turn 1, uphill braking. Could be hectic, could have a Daniel Kvyat style first corner where he wiped out about 3 cars, so hopefully not. Got a Red Bull front row lockout then once again in this league, when we're going to go then to 5 red lights any moment now, hopefully. Swaying on the game. Not seeing the revs building up on the drivers' cars at the moment. Let's just try and wait for that. It's giving me a pretty good angle though, to be fair, to look down onto the grid, and you can see all 20 of these beautiful Formula 1 cars here, 2020 Formula 1 cars are lining up on the grid then, ready to go, raring to go, I'm sure. Still not seeing the revs build on Jutsy's car, so just wait for that and see when the race is going to start, as I'm running out of waffle code, Master, so would you please start the race?
Don't tell me we've got another lobby glitch.
Oh no. I think we have another lobby glitch here, everybody. May have to be a postponed race, or might still go ahead and Ace Sabo's left the session. We're going to get going then. Oh, Ace Sabo. Oh no, he was in the Alfa Romeo in 14th place. We've got a jump start already. We're going to be underway then for the Austrian Grand Prix. Both Red Bulls getting off to a good stop. Here comes RC8 now, looking at the outside of Absolute. We're going to have a Ferrari diving down the inside of absolutely everyone. There's contact even with another car. It's going to be Infamella off into the grass. But Jersey Kevin is going to lead the race down and towards turn 3. Goes to the inside to defend from his teammate. But here comes Absolute around the outside. Absolute jockeying with his teammate now for first position. Up and towards turn 3. Just gets shoved off the track then. And here comes RC8 as well, and I've got yellow for sector 2. Oh no, oh that is terrible. That is terrible. We've got cars everywhere. Safety car straight off the bat then. So we've had Infamilla getting a collision penalty with Tiger Assassin and Nazi. What happened there from your perspective?
I think there was an Alpha Tauri round at turn 3. There's Robert Cookfather also off as well. I'm not sure what's just happened there, but I saw an Alpha Tauri round at turn 3, and I think just everyone hit into the back of the AlphaTauri and one another. It's just a chain reaction. I see Tiger's got damage. I think the Mercedes of Triple O's also got damage.
I'll go have a look at that. Yeah, I believe, yes, front right end plate damage on Triple O's Mercedes then. But have we got a car in the pits? Yeah, we've got the leaders coming into the pits. And that is, okay, Jitsi Kev's in.
Stay out.
So, is this for the hard tyres? Surely it must be.
It's hard for Jitsi.
Hards. So then, is this to the end of the race for these drivers? Oh, as RCX's gone to the mediums. So that must be a 2-stop strategy. And Triple O's been disqualified for illegal blocking. That is the first time I've ever seen a penalty like that. And the team just aren't servicing him. He's just stuck in the pits. What has happened here? So Triple O then, a disqualified car from this race. He's just stuck in his pit box. And let's just try and work out who's actually leading this race as the timing boards start to glitch out on me a bit. So it's going to be Absolute then in the lead on those soft tyres. Let's see what, if it will show me what tyres everyone's on, that would be great. There we go. So Absolute then, still in the lead. It's going to be Tonios in second, who has also stayed out. But that's very interesting from Jitsi Kev to pit on lap 1 and put himself back into the pack on those tyres. Ace Saba has managed to join back then after disconnecting before the start as the board sorts itself out, so I don't have the interval gaps on. Everyone, there we go, and I think that is the actual running order then. So Tiger Assassin then joining Jutsi on those hard tyres, trying to go to the end of the race, but that's going to be close. I know from your own personal testing, Nat, if you could get the hard tyres from lap 1 or 2 right to the end of the race, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well reveal this, but I took the hard tyres 34, 35 laps, and they punctured, so it's going to be tough for him to go to the end. I wasn't expecting anyone to really pit from the soft tyres. I'd expect them to go to at least like around lap 15 and then just go from there onto the mediums or the hards.
Well, yeah,
so,
this is what I'm saying though, Natty. Jitsika and RCA are going to have to use up their tyres coming through the rest of the pack, whilst Absolute will surely just be able to lead from the front and control the race, control the pace on those soft tyres, which are still relatively fresh. Don't forget, because we restarted the lobby here, everyone on a fresh set of softs, so that's a very peculiar decision then from Jitsuke. Potentially could be one that changes the fate of the championship, but currently down in P11 with ground to make up in that midfield when we know how hectic the midfield can be. But yeah, we're going to have GSY Bates running up in the podium positions then for the first time this season, I believe, after starting way down the field actually, having ahead of his teammate Gavra, who was in 19th position, but not the start that Tiger would have wanted. Then down in 17th position after getting damage, but Hope thankfully has been able to get rid of that damage with the safety car. We may wait for Dazza to catch the back of this group. Let's see what the safety car lights are saying. They are still on, so I think we are going to get another lap of safety car then. I know safety car in this lap, so Absolute 11 then becomes the de facto safety car. He will be leading us to the green flag. We're going to wait for the safety car to disappear into the pit lane before he will decide to go. He controls the pace then, just has to keep it at a steady speed, let everyone bunch up behind him. Then we're going to get going for 33 more laps here. Hopefully safety car uninterrupted laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. Tony is pulling alongside his Red Bull sister team, not teammate, but Red Bull sister team car. And look at how slow they're coming over the crest. And Absolute's gone now then. So Absolute has caught Tonio snapping a bit and extends his lead then into first position. Oh, we've got Edison who's going down the inside of GSY Bates straight away. Gets the move done, puts GSY Bates onto the curb. And Tiger Santos puts up a 5-second time penalty there for having a collision with Infamel. He's coming to the pits. And I've got the McLaren going wide into turn 1 as well. It's going to give GSY Bates a chance. Down from the 1, down into turn 2, up and towards turn 3 now. Got our back of breath going past Jitsuke. Got yellow to sector 3. That's the Ferrari of Infamela off again. Oh, the Mercedes off in the grass as well. Almost hits the Ferrari. That's going to be hugely unfortunate then for Infamela. Just got back into this race and spun out again at turn 1. Green's in sector 1 now. So Jitsuke already up into P9. Now how good he is from those safety car restarts. Remember back to Bahrain. Getting 6 positions in 1 lap. He's going to try and get 8th off out back of breath, but just manages to outbrake the Red Bull driver on this occasion, trying to use those soft hard tyres to their advantage. And you've got GSY Bates and Edison going wheel to wheel through turn 6. Edison keeps the position and on the inside. Bates not able to make up the position this time. Brizzy now up into 3rd on those mediums, but here comes Edison with the overtake, with the slipstream, has more battery than McLaren. Doesn't decide to go for a move down towards turn 9, but Brizzy's got a horrible exit. That's going to give Edison a chance. Shot down to turn 10. Doesn't decide to take it, but again, Brizzy's getting a bad exit. Here comes Edison, going to go to the inside. Brizzy doesn't even bother defending. He knows that the move is coming. Edison up into 3rd. That's allowing Absolute and Antonio to absolutely break away at the front then.
Yeah, there are 3 main straights with the slipstream and overtaking. The DRS will be enabled shortly, so but these drivers want to get ahead of one another and really push to break the second window. But everyone after the safety car has been really close to each other so far. We've got Renault Vinci almost looking for a move on Sabo. Tiger pitting for the mediums. Dazza and Infamela both into the pits. And there's Victor trying to go down the inside of Robert Compadre through turn 3. Robert Compadre gets the traction on exit.
Oh, and Brizzy and Edison have come together, I think, and Edison's dropped to position now to GSY Bates. Sabo the Mister behind them in 5th, looking hungry in the back of the racing point, but here comes Vinci now down the inside, in towards turn 7, gets the move done, washes out wide a bit, doesn't have any contact with Sabo though, with the Ferrari, down in towards turns 9 and 10 now. Can Sabo get back at the Renault? Oh, and a bag of breath down the inside!
Contact.
Oh, one!
When he's hit Ace for Sabo. And that's a lot of damage for the Alfa Romeo as well.
And the Williams has put it back to the pits then, as Ace Sabaden with heavy damage on his front wing. Don't know if it's only on the front right hand side, but we'll be feeling the downforce loss, I'm sure. And no, it's all across. Let's have a look at this then.
Edison looking round the outside of turn 3 later in the brakes, maybe a little bit too late as he gets into the curve. Almost loses through a little bit of contact with Bates, but Bates with the slipstream, the DRS and the overtake gets moved through turn 3 on the straight. And
oh, that's contact!
There's contact. Bates keeps 4th place for now.
So then, we've already had some very good battling then in the open stage of this race. Much drama has occurred. They have Vinch now all over the back of Ellison as well. Ellison just outside the DRS detection point though of GSY Bates in front, as Vinch actually gets some understeer there. That's going to give Sabo the Mister a chance. But you saw him moving through this corner not work out just last lap, as the Sabo wisely backs out of it then and doesn't go for a move on the runner in front. And we're still absolutely in the lead by 3.2 seconds. And this is what I'm saying Jitsi Kev must be fearing, that his teammate romping away at the front, and he's just not able to do anything about it now. He's down in 8th place.
Yeah, the slipstream and the DRS is definitely going to help those in kind of a train, as you can see. Bates gaining on Brucey in the run up to turn 3. Doesn't try to go for an outside. He'll try the switchback though through turn 3.
Beautiful
have the inside line, open the DRS, and then run down to turn 4 now. Goes to pulls over to the inside. Braking, locking up the front right tyres, and gets moved down the inside. Brucey's going to try and hold it there on the outside.
Go wheel to wheel.
Side by side now into turn 6. Down the inside goes the McLaren and retains P3.
What a great battle we're seeing between these two now, with Brizzy being hampered by the Williams behind us, and look at the Racing Point and the Williams and the Renault, a chance to get past these two as well. Gonna have a 4-way battle for the final place on the podium. Brizzy trying to make these medium tyres last end to the end of his stint. GSY Bates needs to get past McLaren and build a gap. Brizzy's not going to go defensive. Here comes Bates and up the inside in towards turn 1. He's going to get the move done under braking on the inside line, and Brizzy has nothing to answer with, but he might get DRS now. I'm not sure how it quite works, and it will be Brizzy. No, neither of them has DRS actually, with neither driver activating it there, but it will be Brizzy who has it then down this back straight in towards turn 4. Bates goes a bit wide to try and get better traction out of the corner, and it's worked for him, builds the gap now, but here comes Brizzy with the DRS with the overtake button. Vinch has got past Edison as well, but here comes Brizzy. Look at the speed differential between the two cars. Down the inside goes McLaren, gets the move done, but here comes GSY Bates on the cutback, gets the move done, keeps the 3rd position then, and Brizzy's not able to get back past the Williams, and it's a poor run now in towards turn 6. GSY Bates just picks up the traction on that wider line. Jitsi Kev's also gotten up into 7th position now, right behind Edison, and actually on the back of this quartet then, he can see 3rd place already. He needs to get past these cars quickly, Natty.
Yeah, from all the way from 3rd place down to, I'd say, about 9th place is all really close, and for Jitsi Kevin RCA, they need to get ahead of these guys as quickly as they can. They pitted under the safety car. Brucey's starting the race in the medium tyres. It's gone up 9 places in this race, and he wanted to try and get ahead of Bates as he picks up a 3 second, as Edison picks up a 3 second back penalty.
And I'm riding on board
with the mediums. He's going to want to try and get past.
And here comes Jutsi then. He's had the commentary. He's going to go down the inside on the racing point. Oh! And he's had some GSY Bates is round. They're going to go 3 wide. RZ on the inside. Ellison comes back on the track very dangerously. Nearly wipes out the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. But RJ doesn't look at the inside of Brizzy as well. Up to the next corner. Here comes RC8 now down the inside. The McLaren has got damage. RC8's gone through up into 4th position. And RC8 then taking full advantage of his championship rival's woes. Up into 4th place then, and trying to pressure Victor now.
Yeah, Brizzy a little bit too late on the brakes, ran into the back of Vincher in turn 3. But here comes Jitsi Kev, trying to look for a move on Brizzy. And there's a Ferrari off it, Sabo the Mister.
He's just spun off then in the exit of turn 8.
Gotta be careful when rejoining the track, and nicely done.
Oh! Jutsy's hit Brizzy! Jutsy's hit Brizzy at the final corner. He's got damage on his front right end plate, and that's going to be hugely frustrating then for the Red Bull drivers. And get past McLaren though on the straight, moves back to the racing lines, take the racing line, but here comes Edison now down the inside as well. There's almost contact. The racing point nearly spins off, but really messy stuff then from these drivers. There comes RCA. Oh, Vinch is squeezing RCA to the outside, but he's going to try and go around the outside anyway, and Vinch is going to keep the position, or try to at least. RC8 gets a better drive off the corner, but Vincher crucially has that DRS advantage down towards turn 4. It's not going to help him much though, as here comes RC8 around the outside, trying to make that move up into 3rd position. Can't do it just yet.
Yeah, a little bit of contact from the top runners though. RC8 all over the back of Vincher, looking to try and make a move. RC8 is in the medium tyres after pitting from that lap 1 safety car. Here we wanted to get past as quickly as possible. While these guys have been battling for the final position on the podium, it's just allowed Tonio's in absolute 11 to pull out a 9-second gap between them.
Oh yeah, the gap currently 9 seconds between third and second, but Vinch has gone very wide, and that's gonna, oh, we've got a racing point off, it's Tunturi's off, and he's facing the wrong way, has to be very careful coming back on the track. Oh, and there's a hat of Robert Podpovny getting taken up, caught up in the melee. Jutsi kept into the pit lane, then that strategy hasn't worked, coming back through the field has got damage, but Vinch is gonna go defensive now. That's not gonna stop RCH, he's gonna try and come around the outside of the Renault venue. Oh, there's contact into turn 3, as Vinch tries to go back to the race line, doesn't work, but RCX is going to get him with the cutback and should have a DRS advantage now down the second straight. That's not going to be enough adventure to maintain third position. RC8 takes it. Can he get after RC8? Can he get after Tonios now? In second place is contact, and Vincher loses his front wing, late braking then from the Renault, just runs to the back of the Alfa Romeo.
They have more contact between some of these guys up front, losing their end plates, trying to switch back a little bit later on the brakes, not really working for them. And might pit on this lap for potentially the hard or the medium tyres, lap 12 to the end. It could be possible. He doesn't want to lose too much time with that wing damage.
Yeah, I think certainly if RC is trying to go to the end, it's going to be hard pressed to do on this set of tyres, as this Vinch is coming into the pit lane then, so not too far actually from his original pit lane time, so not too far from the original pit window. So let's see if he goes to a set of the medium tyres. It's going to be a set of the medium tyres, I believe, no, hard tyres actually, with a front wing change. Then have Edison also in the pit lane. Is this for a front wing change as well? I believe it is a front wing change as well. Going to go to the mediums though on lap 12 for a 36. Who else we got on the pitch? GSY Bates onto the hard tyres. I believe that was a wing change as well then. So GSY Bates is going to come out of the pits in 14th. Oh, for blocking the pit lane.
I think he span at turn 1, and that was really close between him and Bates as his AI took over the car. I think he span at turn 1 and was allowing a few drivers to go through, but the game disqualified him for parking in the pit lane exit.
Yeah, the game up to all types of weird trickery then. It seems it's absolutely, and still your race leader, but I think we have Jutsi Kev now looking at the Renault of Daza, going to go down the inside, and he's got the move done then on traction, just pure traction there. Jutsi gets past Daza up into 10th position now. Let's see what the gap is actually to the leader. Oh, it's 41 seconds, Natty. So Absolute has well more than a pit stop over his championship rival. Currently in 10th place, Jutsi Kev with all to do in the second portion of this race then.
Yeah, definitely. While those guys have been battling and kind of been getting a little bit stuck in traffic, obviously it's not too much of a difficult track to overtake them with the DRS and the slipstream, but having said that, it is really easy to stick with the driver in front. Obviously the dirty air in the middle sector costs you a lot of time. As long as you can stay within a second through the final corner, then that sets you up all the way to turn 4 with DRS and slipstream, so you've really got to put the foot down and push in the middle of the final sector to try and gain an advantage and get out of the slipstream and DRS range.
Yeah, so Victor and Brizzy now go very close together on track. Currently our closest battle out here on the race course, but we've got the Alpha Tauri now looking all over the back of the McLaren with front right end plate damage then. Jutsy's also looking at the back of Tunturi. He's going to make a move now down the outside, actually this is for the next corner. Tunturi backs out of the movement, allows Jutsy Kev to go through. Let's go back up here towards Victor and Brizzy are battling over 4th position at the moment. Will be third on the track up. We've got yellows in sector 2. There's a Ferrari round again, and I think it's Infamella. Has got back going again though, I believe. Yep, has done so. Sorry about the jerkness to the camera. Everybody gonna have Victor and Brizzy now going wheel to wheel and up and towards turn 3, surely with the DRS advantage and the overtake advantage. Brizzy goes defensive. Here comes Victor round the outside, late braking then, gets the move done. He's gone off the track though, and that's going to be a walk through for the McLaren then. So Victor offering 4th place up on a plate to Brizzy, and Brizzy says thank you very much. Got Hampton though, the McLaren teammate, on the back of Savage the Mist now. I think Savage just gotten past the McLaren, but 13 laps then on those soft tyres, not able to make a move. Just late braking though, and Hampton, how did he avoid running into the back of the Ferrari? Here comes Alex gonna mat now after Hampton's made the mistake. Hampton goes through and up into 7th position. Oh, it's Victor. Sorry, Victor and Brizzy now going wheel to wheel once again. Brizzy's had a bad exit with that front wing damage. Here comes Victor now, going to look to the inside potentially into turn 9. Not going to go for a move there. Wisely decides to back out of it, but Brizzy's had another bad exit. Here comes Victor down the inside. Brizzy just doesn't see him coming, and Victor very wisely again backs out of the move. Got yellow in sector 3. It's a racing point. It's Tunturi again. and he's round. Oh, and he's on a pirouette into the track. Oh dear. He needs to be very careful coming back on the track there as a Tunchery, and he takes somebody else with him. And still goes over in sector 3, no safety car just yet, shouldn't require one. As yet, Victor now has dropped off the back of Bruce. That's going to put Sabo all over the back of the Alpha Tauri as well. Not sure if you saw it happen. They've got yellows in sector 3 again, and it's going to be Tunchery again, spinning at the pit entry.
Moving his teammate up towards turn 3, gets moved down before the braking point.
But what's gone on with Tunchery? He's spun again at the final couple of corners, trying to get into the pit lane. And he's coming back into the pits. Now Absolute then in the pits. So I haven't spoken much about Absolute this race. Kind of coming to the pits now for a set of medium tyres. Tonios follows him in. And Absolute already back down the pit lane then. He might even still come out in about second place. So he's going to be out behind RCA.
So looking for a move down the inside of Brizzy into the penultimate corner. And I think it's time for Victor to get past Brizzy. And Sabo the Mist is going to look for it down the inside as well. There's a little bit of contact, and I think that's knocked off more of Brizzy's end plate. Sabo the Mist in the Ferrari. With the DRS and the overtake, looking for a move into turn 1, but can't quite make any moves of it yet.
But yeah, I'm sure Absolute 11 must be licking his lips with glee, seeing his championship rival and teammate Jitsi kept down in 8th place at the moment, as Sabo the Mist really challenging the McLaren.
Oh, there's big contact between Brizzy and Victor. Brizzy really late on the brakes, hitting Victor in the side pod. I don't know if Victor's got front right end plate damage. And that's going to allow Sabo the Mist to go through both of them.
Yeah, so the Mist is now up into 4th position, so crazy battles here. As yeah, I saw Brizzy shooting off into the corner, but I didn't think he'd had contact with anyone though. As Brizzy now all over the back of the Ferrari, but just he's not going to be able to make a move here, Natty, and he's actually cost Victor a lot of damage and consequently a lot of time. So let's see what can happen here between these two, as Victor's now going to be angry trying to get back past the McLaren, as Brizzy's going to give him the position that looks like doesn't fight it going into turn 9. No, it's just time to get out of the way, but parks it on the apex and holds off Alex on the Mac as well. But yeah, that's going to be investigated after the race, I'm sure. We've got Ace, Sabo and Hampton close together on track as well. Hampton on a fresh set of mediums, looking to get away then from the car behind. Let's go back up to Alex on the Mac. Dazza back in the pits now. Alex on the Mac going to look to the outside then on the McLaren. This should be a bit of a wave by for the Mercedes up and towards turn 3. Hasn't got the legs on the Mercedes in a straight, on the McLaren in a straight line even, as Alex on the Mac does get the move done up into 6th position even. Here comes Jitsi Kev though, got a racing point off the track in the background. Jitsi Kev going to go round the outside, replicating what Alex Albon attempted to do on Lewis Hamilton, as here comes Brizzy. Oh, and there's contact just like Albon and Hamilton, but no Red Bull spinning off into the gravel just yet, as Jitsi does get the move up into 7th position.
Absolute 11's also closed down the gap to RCA. RCA's been almost tired since the lap 1 safety car. And Absolute on his fresh mediums would certainly be closing the gap down at a fast rate.
Oh,
it's just how long can Absolute hold him up for?
Ellison of the back of GSI Bates, sorry, for 10th. Jitsi kept just getting past Alex on the Mac as well. I'm going to keep my camera here for the current moment in time. Oh, we've got yellows in sector 2 with 2 and 3. It's going to be Ellison or it's going to be Tunchery again. It's... Oh, I'm not sure what that was.
Ellison almost lost it.
Oh. Got yellows in sector... It is Ellison.
His tyres seem to be pretty heated through the exit of turn 8.
Oh, Brizzy in the pits then. So Brizzy back in the pits for another set of mediums. And is that a 2-stop there, or has Brizzy gone for the softs before?
Can't quite remember.
I'll have a look.
Victor and Jitsi Kev are going side by side in the run down to turn 4. Victor down the inside, there's a little bit of contact, and Victor's sent into a half spin onto the grass. Through the Victor turn 1, that's through turn 4, sorry, that's Alex going to Mac. Try and go around the outside. And
Sabo the Mister and Jitsi Kev going multiple into turn 6. Now it's going to be Jitsi Kev round the outside of the Ferrari, but Sabo so late on the brakes in towards turn 7, gets the move back done and through turn 8. Oh, he's in the grass. Oh, and he's lost it again.
Trying to hold.
Oh no, and that could have been very bad then, as yeah, Jitsi kept getting onto the grass and he's left the session. He's disconnected, Natty. A damage once again for the Red Bull driver, but he is out of this race. That's going to be huge for the championship. Absolutely, this is his chance, and RC8 now, to get clear of their championship rival in the standings. But actually, RC8 now closing up towards the back of Absolute, despite being on 16 lap old medium tyres.
So Jutsu Kev's going to try and hope he can get in the session as quickly as he can, because the Renault is closing on him on the straight, and the Renault's going to go to the outside line and get the move done on Jutsu Kev's AI.
Oh, and Jutsu Kev is out. It says unfair driving in the chat. And that's going to be the end of the race, and it looks like for Jutsu. His AI will still control that car towards the end of the race, but yeah, hopefully, Jutsu still have time to get back in, mate. It's not over yet. Still got 16 laps to go. But Victor now currently within DRS of. Was within DRS anyway, of Alex on a Mac. In front, no rain just yet. Got Ace of Sabo though looking at the back of Hampton as well. As Hampton goes wide, that's going to be a chance for Ace of Sabo now to have a move in towards turn 6. Now going to try and go around the outside of the McLaren, slots in behind the car in front in the end, but going to try and look for the car, but now into turn 7 as the McLaren just swoops across the front end of the Alfa Romeo, coming down in towards 3, turn 8, down towards turns 9 and 10 for the second or third DRS zone, even going down the main straight. GSY Bates picks up another penalty as sector 3 yellows again. There's a Williams off. Oh, that's Bates, and he's spun round at the final corner. Has to be, and he's disqualified. We're going the wrong way. And what is happening here? What is happening? Oh, don't get the echo just yet. And Tiger Assassin just manages to get past, and GSY Bates has been disqualified from this session now. And that, you just keep seeing disqualifications left, right and centre, but that's not going to matter to Ace of Sabo, comes down the inside of the McLaren up into 8th position, clean and nice as you like there from the Alfa Romeo. But Hampton going to have the DRS now, on board with Hampton now, going down towards turn 4, going to have the DRS open. Can he get down the inside of the Alfa Romeo? Just can't do it yet. Oh, but late braking. Thought he was going to go for a move and decides not to in the end, but we've got GSY Bates disqualified from the session.
Both Hampton and Ace of Sabo have used up a lot of their ERS. Both only have 6-7% left to play with.
And Victor back in the pits. Oh, that was a big lock up into there. This might be another set of mediums, or potentially even a set of... Oh, it's a set of softs. That's interesting. Serving a penalty as well then. But Victor 90 going to go to a set of the soft tyres. He's going to be charging back through the grid on this set. Actually, those should get him to the end of the race. About 15 laps on softs. Will be taking that fresh set towards the end of their life. Let's see what Victor can do then. Hampton though isn't done yet with Ace of Sabo. They've gone wheel to wheel through turn 1 down towards turns 2 and 3. Ace of Sabo's going to go defensive surely. Here comes the McLaren though. They've both got no ERS, as you just said, Natty. As Hampton's going to try it round the outside. Oh, can he get round the outside? No, Jones can't do it yet. GSY Base House, that's the session. Hopefully it doesn't cause the game to crash, all this migrating host stuff. But here comes Ellison now. RC back into the pit lane, and that might be for a set of the soft tyres as well. So he'll be charging back through the grid as well at the end of this race. Oh, Hampton goes into the grass, and that is a free pass. The Ace of Sabo needed to keep 7th position, and I think we've hit another bit of a lull here, Natty. But it's about to get very exciting there, because Victor, on those soft tyres, RC8 also on a set of soft tyres, and let's see what they can do now towards the end of this race.
Yeah, RC8's got, 14 laps to close down, about 9 seconds to Tonio's and Absolute. They'd probably be hoping for a late safety car in his position in this race. There's Infernello closing in, and it's his AI. Victor trying to close the gap to Dazzo. Victor on those fresh soft tyres. Dazzo runs a little bit wide through the turn 9. I'm sure Victor will be trying to get the move done as soon as possible. Maybe into turn 1 actually, so he gets a really good run through the final corner. With the overtake, the DRS falls over to the inside line. Gets the move up into P11.
Oh, but Daz is going to try and come back at the AlphaTauri. He's going to have the inside line actually going in towards turn 3. Beautifully played there by Daz. Al-Baghi is out of the session then. Let's see these two then in the battle for 11th position.
Safety car.
Safety car, that is huge. That is huge for this race. Jutsi, get back in the lobby if you can. Jutsi, get back in the lobby. But yeah, we've got a safety car of Al-Baghi spinning off at turn 8, I believe. Let's try and see if we can see what happened to him. On board with Vincher. There's the Williams then off in the gravel on the outside. Sabo and Mister in the pits. Was there contact between the two? That's going to be a double retirement for the Williams cars. Oh, but crucially, Natty, crucially, Absolute hasn't been able to get back into the pits. He's already gone past the pit lane.
And we've got a few drivers taking the opportunity to pit.
No, Victor. Victor getting a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the safety car delta. And yes, Pierre, it is definitely going to help out the likes of RC8 as well, who on those fresh soft tyres doesn't have to worry about closing that gap to Absolute now, as he's going to have it closed for him by the safety car. But Absolute and Tonio have gone past the pits. Absolute is coming in. Absolute coming in. I thought he was staying out. That was Gypsy's AI staying out. Tonio said surely will follow in the Red Bull sister car. Yeah, he has committed to the pit lane then, so Tonio's coming in as well. RC8 now coming through turn 8 on the straight down towards turn 9. Absolute has been held in the pits for some reason and has got back going now though. Absolute at 35 miles an hour. RC8 comes into the pits. And so that kind of takes the sting out of the tail there. Vinch is going to stay out though, it looks like, on that set of hard tyres. Or will he come into the pits? Let's wait and see. He's right on board with him.
Was he picking up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car?
Oh no, so yeah, we've had a lot of penalties dished out. Then gonna Absolute, who's led every single lap of this race, getting the better of his teammate up at turn 3 on lap 1 and hasn't looked back since. So he's going to be Absolute leading with Tonio's in second, RC8 in third, and another fresh set of the soft tyres then. So not thinking that it's worth having staying out, potentially getting track position, and going from there. We'll have a lapped car, 2 lapped cars, sorry, of a Centurion Infamela in front of him, and in between Tonio's and Absolute. Remember, the lap cars in this game don't get out of the way under the safety car because I guess they just didn't want to code that into the game. But this is also good for Tiger Assassin now, who's had a renewed chance at hope now. This safety car was running in 14th or 13th position, kind of just on his own, but now has a chance to get back up in towards the points of this first race. Potentially.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the penalties. Absolute has no penalties. Tonio's has picked up 1 penalty. RCA also having no penalties in this race so far. Vincher, Cyber and Mister both have penalties. I think Alex Gunnermack is clean of penalties, and Victor's picked himself a few. So it's quite easy to run wide and pick yourself a warning, get yourself a warning at this track. So there are many corners you can run wide. So penalties might become a factor come the end of this race. Obviously the field is going to be slightly more bunched up with the safety car, and only 11 laps to go as Absolute's going to be inside the safety car.
Oh yeah, shall we go and check that out? Oh yeah, he is. He all was. He's very friendly with Burt Mylander.
Don't hit it.
That would be it.
From experience. But I think we mentioned this in quality, but Absolute ran in a very nice helmet. A huge fan of his helmet choice.
Of course you are. Pierre is saying he thinks it's a bad strategy from both of the Renault cars not to pit. I think for the Renaults, potentially Pierre are thinking to try and get track position as much as they can. As what is Sabo doing? Or Infamela even? Why is Infamela now overtaking the safety car? Have they patched this in? Can the lap cars overtake now?
I'm not sure. Centuri seems to be overtaking. I don't think Centuri's I think it's overtaking people, but having to let them go. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't know what's happening here. Have you got a glitch?
On board, Absolute's been given a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Are they supposed to overtake the safe?
Oh no, what's happened here? So, Infamela overtaking the safety car has now been let go to catch up to the back of the pack. Absolute is not meant to have his car and AI under the safety car, especially under the safety car Tonio's as well. Tunchuri's now going past cars. I think they have.
Unlapping himself.
Oh, he's not. No. What's going on there?
I think he thinks he can unlap himself, but I think that obviously the coding in the game, Tunchuri's been given a few penalties for collisions. Sabo's picking up a penalty as well.
What was he doing?
There's a M plate. There's a Renault M plate. I think it's Daz's M plate.
Yeah, it was Tunchuri just stopped on the apex of turn 1. Like,
I think what's happening here is Tunchuri thinks he can go through. It's the rules in F1 that you can unlap himself, but I think obviously due to the coding of the game, it's not letting. It's hard to tell whether he's allowed to go because he seems to be letting back.
No, he's letting everyone. He's letting all of the drivers back through. There's a problem. Oh, this game! but now they're all gonna get penalties, Natty. They're all gonna get penalties.
Get disqualified here.
Yeah, because they're more than 10 car. They're more than 10 car lengths behind the car in front now. As Tunchuri's just dropping through the pack. I have no idea. I don't know if this is a game issue, but either way, Tunchuri should not have been stopped on the apex of turn 1, but Absolute Ben's going to take us away then for his second safety car restart of the race. I think Sabo has managed to catch up then. Don't know where Tunchuri's gone, but yeah, he's now dropped back through the field. Victor 90 gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. Absolute has a 5-second time penalty as well, so that could potentially change the complexion of this race. Oh, Tunchuri's just slammed on the brakes again.
Here's the drive-through.
Needs to sort himself out under the safety car. Like, seriously, it's the second time this season. As Absolute now is going to lead us towards the end of the safety car restart. Currently in the lead. Going to have Vinch now dropping back to the pack with a set of hard tyres. Now he's going to come into the pits of that wing damage under the safety car. As Tonios then is going to be trying to get on the back of the Red Bull in front. As Brizzy's picked up another penalty as well. I don't know why this game is so broken under the safety car. But, I mean, Absolute now is going to have a 1-second advantage then over Tonios already. So really stretching the legs of that Red Bull. We'll have R6 now in third position, 1.3 seconds now behind the AlphaTauri in front. That's a 3-second time penalty. Yellow's in sector 2. That's a racing point off, and it's Tunchuri again. He's spun and he's in the wall. And that could be potentially another safety car if he can't get it going underway once again, and has retired from the session then, so Tunchuri retiring from the session. They're going to have Absolute then still in the lead. He's used up all of his overtake on this lap to try and get that gap from Tonios, and you know what, it's worked. We're going to have Ellison now load the back of Ace DeSavo, who might have damage, or may not, does have damage actually. As Ellison now over the back of the Alfa Romeo, not able to make a move just yet though. As that goes, those gaps out in front staying relatively similar with RC8 1.3 seconds behind now. Victor though, Victor's looking at the back of Alex the Mac now. I think does have that penalty from before though, Natty, but has got a bad exit through turn 2. No DRS just yet. Let's have a look at Ellison though. The A7, don't forget, does have damage on the front left hand side of the car. Here comes Ellison up and towards turn 3. DeSabo goes defensive. Here comes Ellison round the outside. Oh, the Renault's gone down the inside and he's hit the Alfa Romeo. And Dazza then it's gone and careered into the back of the Alfa Romeo. Ellison's going to get past both of them up and towards P7, but really, really messy stuff then from the freshman driver. Does more contact as A7 tries to go back onto the racing line. As Ellison now is going to look to the outside but can't get the cut back then. Tiger Assassin up into 13th position now, looking at the back of Infamella for 12th and potentially points in his first ever race here in Gavra. And currently Victor on the back of Alex Mac as well. Got so many drivers so close here, but some really, really messy battling. As here comes Ellison now, all over the back of Sasabo again. DRS is enabled, so Ellison will have that advantage to go down towards turn 3. Sasabo gets a really bad exit off of the final of turn 9 and 10. Infamella now with another penalty. Brizzy's in the pits without damage. Ellison's slowing down. Ellison's disqualified. Oh, he's ignored a drive-through penalty. And Ellison out of this race. So we're going to have 14 runners then left. Tiger Assassin is now battling Infamella for points. As Hampton's looking at the back of Dazza up and towards turn 3. Nothing doing there for the McLaren though, but Dazza's gone very wide. And they both have damage.
Down the inside of Alex Gunner. Mac, he's broken really late and he's off into the gravel, similarly to Roman Grosjean. And really outbroke himself. He's got to be careful when we're doing the track.
Yellow's in sector 2, not sure.
Infamella diving it down the inside of Hampton into turn 4. There's no contact. Hampton left in the room. And that poor run from Hampton's going to allow Tiger to close down these two.
Yeah, currently on board with Tiger. Let's see what he can do now. Got 2 positions in front. Hampton goes off the track. Tiger looks to the inside line. He's still there. And Hampton doesn't give him any space whatsoever. But now here comes Tiger Assassin looking at getting his first points in the Freshman League in his first ever race appearance on those soft tyres. The McLaren in front has damage on 5-lap old medians. Tiger can do this. He's going to have the DRS open. Here comes Tiger on the inside line. Gets past the McLaren. Over to 10th place, Tiger's in the points. But Tonios
looking for a move down the inside of Absolute, not quite close enough yet. But Tonios is really close down the gap to Absolute. Both have limited ERS to use. But we've got a great battle for the lead.
Where has that come from? Tonios has just been plugging away at Absolute.
Driving it down the inside of Dazza. Into turn 3. Go both run a little bit wide. There's contact between Hampton and Tiger.
Oh no.
Hamilton diving it down inside really late on the brakes.
And he's
Hickman
got
and Tiger both running wide.
It's still a 5-second time penalty.
Hamilton with no front wing.
And we'll surely have to give the position up to Tiger.
Tiger goes through. Luckily he didn't pick up any major damage. He might have a slightly lighter green front wing, but really big contact on the McLaren. I don't know whether he just misjudged his braking point or was trying to go for a really late move. But
I don't know what he was trying to achieve there. Like, he has front wing damage. He shouldn't be diving up the inside of another car. But Tonios has just lost a bit of touch and of absolute. 7/10 of a second now, trying to get it down onto the 7/10 of a second gap with the DRS open. Jitsikev then, or his AI at least, has gotten past Hamilton now as well. He's going to be coming into the pits. As Tonios then, all of the back of Absolute. I don't know where this battle's come out of Natty, but it's going to be quite an interesting one then, of Jitsikev, your points leader, out of the race, at the moment. Tiger Assassin 1.1 seconds behind Daza now in 9th place. Could be even more points then gathering for the Haas team. But here comes Tonio, said 8/10 of a second behind Absolute through turn 8 now. Overtake button on, trying to close on his championship rival. Tonio's 4th in the championship, Absolute 2nd in the championship as it stands at the moment. As Tiger Assassin also now 1 second behind Daza. We're going to stay up here though, as Tonio's just trying to get onto the back of the Red Bull, but I think Absolute might just be a little bit too fast for the Alpha Tauri, as he only got 4 laps left to run in this race then. But Tiger Assassin all over the back of Daza now. He's going to come through turn 7 and 8. Daza goes wide. Tiger's there around the outside, going to cut back to the inside though maybe. Let's run on board with Tiger now down in towards turns 9 and 10. Too far on this occasion, but we'll have a DRS. Oh! Daza cuts across the front as he tries to get into the pit lane. That's going to be Tiger then up into 9th position. Can he chase down Infamella for 8th? And now we're going to see Antonio still all over the back of Absolute then. And Hampton trying to unlap himself. Daza's coming back out of the pits in 13th place then, so second to last out of the runners so far. It's unfortunate for Daza and both Reynolds actually, who were in the points only moments ago. But Tonios then only 5/10 now behind Absolute. This is the closest he's been for the last couple of laps. As here comes Tonios. He wants his second win of the season, Natty, and he's going for it now through the final couple of corners. 5/10 of a second, 4/10 of a second. Let's see what kind of exit he can get off the final corner. It wasn't great, but it's going to be enough that still for the DRS advantage down the main straight. The game's giving me a terrible camera angle, so let's ride on board through turn 1 then up and towards the one towards turn 3. Nearly loses the rear actually. Absolute may have to go defensive here. Here comes Tonio, 6/10 of a second, has the DRS, has the overtake button off actually, has run out of DRS, is not able to make an impression on the Red Bull in front, but Vinci now looking at the back of Jitsy's AI, Jitsy's AI, so we won't look at that. As Tonios, I'm looking all over the back of Absolute. He really wants this win. This is akin to Senna and Mansell at Monaco from 92. Just not able to get past the Red Bull in the moment. Absolute doing a sterling job in defending his first position. Once his third and of the season, I believe this would be for Absolute then. As Vinch has gotten past Jitsi then cleanly enough into 11th place. Tiger Assassin also closing in on Infamella. That gap was 3.2 seconds, I believe, a moment ago. Now 2.7. But your battle for the lead is currently the closest battle on track, Natty. So which way do you see this one going?
It's going to be interesting, obviously, with the penalties that they have. Absolute, he's got himself a 5-second penalty. I think that was for speeding in the pit lane of the yellow flags. I'm not sure if he served it though. Antonio's only has a 3-second time penalty, so they're going to have to keep it clean on track limits as Tonio's almost loses the rear through turn 1. But as it stands, they've both got well, to Absolute's been able to control his ERS, so I think this one might go to Absolute on track.
Oh, but Tonios had a really squirrely exit on the back of on the end of turn 1, a bit loosey-goosey, as one certain commentator would say. So Tonios, I'm looking at the back of Absolute again. I know I said that a lot, but it is true. He's trying everything he can, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Absolute, but sloking up the pressure like a wet sponge. Absolute at the moment, just managing to stay ahead of Tonios. I'm not going to have a look at the penalties, so we can have a little bit of a surprise as to the positions if they do change. I'm going to go back down here to Tigers. I think he stands a better chance of getting getting past the Ferrari potentially on this last lap when Absolute's about to start the penultimate lap of this race. Tiger currently just outside the DRS zone then of the Ferrari in front. Infernal will be fighting this very hard, has locked up though into turn 4, manages to keep his line. That's going to put Tiger within the DRS zone though, or just above the DRS and actually 1.0 seconds there. Oh, Infernal has wing damage, Natty. Infernal with wing damage and the gap's now 0.6 of a second. Tiger will have DRS potential on the penultimate lap of this race. Tiger Assassin moving himself up into 8th position after starting in 16th on his maiden freshman league race. What a good rookie performance this has been from Tiger Assassin so far. The gap 0.3 of a second now. Tonyos has fallen to without a second outside of Absolute, so won't be getting on DRS advantage. Tiger hasn't opened his DRS, even though it does say he has it on my screen. But we'll have another bite of the cherry, going from turn 1 down towards turn 3 now. Infernal just has got no front end grip whatsoever, that wing damage. As here comes Tiger Assassin, then going to go up and towards turn 3 and see if he can make a move down the inside. Just can't do it yet. Locks up though, has gone wide and will get a better cut in though, and will hopefully get better traction. The car in front and down this back straight of the DRS open. Once again, going to run out of DRS though, saves it for the next straight, I believe, as Victor picks up another 3-second time penalty. And Natty, we still don't know how this race is going to pan out with the penalties and all.
Hampson picked himself up a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags, but you'd expect Tiger to be all over the back of that Ferrari this lap. It is the final lap as Absolute crossed the line a few moments ago. Infernal with that wing damage is definitely going to be hampered in the final middle sector. Tiger's going to try and use the remaining of his ERS and try and get past.
He's so close now. He's so close. There surely must be an overtake.
Well, we'd save it for turn 3 potentially, so Infernal doesn't fight back with the ERS. We'll have to wait and see.
Tiger saves his ERS.
Saves his ERS. He probably won't save it for either this straight or the one after turn 3. He's engaged the overtake button in the slipstream. He's got the ERS wide open, using a lot of the ERS. Goes to the inside, braking just after the 100-meter board. Locks up the front tyres, but that's going to allow Infernal to get the switch back. But Infernal is ground.
Oh, but that's not going to matter to Absolute 11. He's going to round the final corner and takes the win at a hectic Austrian Grand Prix, just like last season. Just like this is what Tonios takes the win on penalties. Tonios gets it on penalties, Natty. So Tonios is going to win here. RC8 is going to be in 3rd. Sabah the Mister should finish 4th. He's going to cross the line 4th. And be Alex on the map, I think, in 5th position. So things really petered down there after the second safety car. Victor, Alex on the map gets 4th. Sabah the Mister in 5th. Victor will be in 6th. Ace of Sabah coming around the final corner and a double points finish for Alfa Romeo. He's going to cross the line in 7th in theory, unless he has made. Ace of Sabah wins the race. What?
Didn't Ace of Sabah disconnect at the start? Is that just an AI?
Yes.
Glitch? Is that an AI glitch? I remember something last season like this in Belgium in the academy.
I think that's an AI glitch because it says he's won by 24.2 seconds, which must surely be impossible. I think Daz is going to be our last car to cross the line though. It is going to be Tonios, then he takes the win with RC8 in 2nd and Absolute in 2nd and RC8 in 3rd. That was quite a corker of a race. It got a driver of the day vote. Ace to Sabo, the game gave it to Ace to Sabo. Let's see who you have voted for though in the chat. 80% saying Tiger Assassin. So yeah, looks like Tiger's gonna get DOTD and we'll get the some more points for the Haas team in his opening race. So good drive there from Tiger. And he has just won the vote. Yes, the Tiger of 83% of the vote. Tend to be saying Tiger Assassin should have won driver of the day. But anyway, it's going to be, even though it says that Ace Sabah has won the race, yes, not. It was Tonios in the end, and he took it on penalties. Although there is still some investigation to be done as to whether Absolute should have had that extra 5-second time penalty. But yeah, that's going to bring to an end an insane Austrian Grand Prix then. So it says Ace Sabah was won, but we'll ignore that. Oh yeah, fastest lap time with a 13.9 second lap. Yeah, that's definitely a glitch. So it's going to be Tony taking the win. Absolute in 2nd, RC8 3rd, Alex on the Mac in 4th, Sabah the Mister in 5th, Victor in 6th. I believe Ace Sabah was in 7th or 8th, but Brizzy in 8th, Tiger Assassin in 9th, Fincher in 10th, Jitsi Kev retired from the session in 11th, Daza in 12th, Inverell in 13th, Hampton in 14th, and the first for retirees, Ellison, Centuri, Abagibrev, GSY Bates, Robert Codfather, and Triple O, your did not finishes from this race. But what a race that was, Natty. It's definitely not short of drama once again here in the Freshman League. But yeah, a bit of unhappiness potentially amongst some of the drivers. I know some of the people in the chat weren't maybe 100% happy with the standard of driving of the other guys in the race, especially under the safety car. But yeah, well, absolutely, so the stewards will look at it because yeah, not really too sure. I think it has to be taken into account what both Infamela and Tunchiri were doing under the safety car. Just have to see their points of view and if they can defend what happened, if there were any mitigating circumstances. But yeah, I kind of sort of share your frustrations. Obviously, that was unfortunate there at the end. But yeah, it was a very, very good performance from both of the top two drivers, definitely, as well as RC8. I should bring it home in third. They both gained, nevertheless, they both gained a massive ground on Jutsikev in the Drivers' Championship, though, Natty. I think will be about 22 points ahead. Oh, no, 20 points ahead, sorry. Absolutely, will be 20 points ahead of Jutsikev with about 8 races left to run then in this championship. So a big task for Jutsi to overhaul that deficit. But that's going to bring to an end what I have to say about this race. And Natty, you got any more closing comments?
Yeah, it's a similar race to what we had in China. We had some great battles in this race, but unfortunately a few collisions, damage, and an incident under the safety car, which will probably be looked at. But great battles out of all the battles we had. It was probably, we had a really good battle for the lead, and the midfield at that. The majority of the race had some pretty good overtakes. So overall, I think a pretty decent race from, I'd say the majority of the drivers.
Yeah, so that's going to bring to an end then the Austrian Grand Prix. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 8:30 for the Premier Series. Also around Austria, I'm sure it will be another hectic and drama-filled Grand Prix. And on Thursday, I'm sure it won't be any different. The Super League will be taken to the Red Bull Ring once again. The final race around Austria this week, we promise. As yeah, that's going to bring to an end the Freshman League. And we hope you join us again next week for another instalment where we will be at Silverstone, one of my favourite tracks and Sean of Natty's favourite tracks as well. But yeah, we're going to round it off there, guys. See you next week.